Thank you so much. This is LTN Sports Show, the Legends Corner, and we are blessed today to have Tobias Jua Kali Ocholla. Good enough. Today we are honored to be joined by one of Kenya's most respected football legends, Tobias Ocholla, popularly known as Jua Kali. A stalwart of the game, Ocholla's name is etched in the history of Kenyan football, not only for his remarkable skills and leadership during his prime days, but also for his contribution to the sports mentor, coach, and role model, from lifting trophies on the pitch to inspiring the next generation of it. Tobias embodied the true spirit of football journey. His journey reflects resilience, discipline, and passion, qualities that continue to shape his involvement in the game today. In this conversation, we'll take a deep dive into his football history, his accolades, his views on the current state of Kenyan football, and advice to young athletes. We'll also hear his perspective on the CHAN experience, the role government and corporate sponsorship, and what needs to be done to raise our football standards in the coming season. Ocholla Jua Kali is more than just a footballer. He is a living legend whose story continues to inspire generations. Welcome, Tobias.
Thank you.
Now, can you take us back to where your football story began? Your biggest influence and aspiration as a young player, and how did you earn the name Jua Kali?
Well, that journey is too far. First and foremost is a big thank you for having called upon me to be here to to talk about what I and you know we love most, and that is sports. Sports cuts across all good hearts that wants to join on the road to building a society. And my journey started when I was, I think, very young, at class 6. That is Othoro Primary School in current Homa Bay County, Kabondo, Kasipul. Then I played for the school team. Then I transferred from Othoro to Kowidi when my dad was posted there as a deputy head teacher. I was there for a year, and I think that time I helped my primary school to the divisional level. From Kowidi, then I graduated same area to Wangapala Secondary School, where I joined in 1979, Form 1. Then I was there for 4 years. I left in 1982. But on admission to Wangapala Secondary School, I joined the school team. Immediately, I was ushered into that gate of that school. The brother I follow was ahead of me by a year. Is Charles Ocholla, who is the current Vice Chancellor at Tombuya University in Homa Bay. He also had his stint in soccer, but his was not so deep. When I was playing as a defender, he was playing as a winger. So it's as if the traits came from the parents, because he had even our younger sister that also played netball. She was a sprinter, but them they did not do much. It's only myself that bypassed the limits to reach where I reached. I was in Wangapala for 4 years. While there, we managed to take the high school to provincial at Migori Stadium. Then, by the time I was leaving Form 4, I was spotted by Kisumu Works, where I joined. They were in Division 1 in Kisumu. They played there for a year, 1983. 1984, I joined Kisumu Hot Stars. I stayed there for 2 years. We qualified the team for National League then, the current KPL League. Then the whole of 85, we were in the National Super League with Hot Stars. Then I think by that time, my quality, or I don't know what to say, uh, endeared Gor Mahia to me. So they shopped for my talent by the closure of the season in 1985. So I signed for Gor Mahia in 1985 December, when the senior team then was in Khartoum, Eastern Central Africa, where they beat FC Leopards 2-0 in the final. I started playing for Gor Mahia in 1986 on 18th of January, and it came as a surprise to me, but because of the conviction and the the motivation I had, I played in that friendly. That was against a military combined side. They were en route to, I think, Zambia from Cairo. We played at City Stadium, and either it was a good riddance or a chance that the coach then was Len Julians, and he was a no-nonsense coach. So he gives instructions, and if you don't follow, the repercussions follow. So he had a lot of leads he gave to particular players, but unfortunately, my friend George Solo Tieno did not follow some. Then he was chucked off, and I went in. And that was the last time I think Solo saw that number, and that was the time I arrived on stage, and I believe it did not end there. For the 11 years I played for Gor Mahia, there was no substitute to start the game if I'm there. I was there playing in the either left or right fullback. There was a time I also played last man. There was a time I also put in number 6. But with a lot of discipline from home, school, and at club level, with the, the guidance of the coach then, I think it shaped me to where I am today. Because I think from the grassroots, when we started playing those Adola balls, if the people who can understand, until now, I think I can boast. My discipline has helped me get along with a lot of people, and whatever I put my hands in, I always succeed. Yes.
Yeah, great stuff. Great history. That was. Looking back, what would you consider the greatest achievements during your prime? And which matches, stroke tournaments, stood out and still stand out during your prime? And what lessons did your football teach you in and off the pitch?
There are so many standout matches and events, but I think all in all, these things are built on the discipline I think I got from my parents, because from the onset, I think the only poor thing I can say I did while growing in primary school was to go against my dad's wishes that I don't play sport during Saturdays. I'm a Seventh Day Christian, and Seventh Day don't do work on Saturdays. But we were stealing the time when we go out there grazing cattle in the playing field so that we play. But when we were caught, there were a lot of canes around that we go against the ethics of the day. But I think with that, it was not in bad faith, but that was the only time we could get. And for me, it helped me achieve what I've achieved in sport. If I would have gone by what my dad was saying, I might have not played football. But going forward from that, discipline is key in life, whatever you want to do. And you have to plan for everything, because sometimes it is said that when you are in school, you concentrate in education. But sometimes, if you can run the two well, you can never go wrong. But again, sports is short-lived. Education is long term. You can do your thing in sport and then later on come back to football and move forward. So I did my bit in sports, and that sports again helped me to secure a job, because when I was picked from Hot Stars to Nairobi, those days the players were never professionals. They were recruited. Then the officials were trying to get jobs for their good players in different parastatals. So if you look back, there were tournaments across the country where government parastatals had their their sports. I think during August of every year, that is the Kikoso, Kenya Communication Sports Organization. So these organizations were recruiting best players in their ranks, so that when it comes to Kikoso, the competition was there. And that is why I think Kenyans those days, Kenya was a powerhouse in sports in East Africa, because throughout the year, the leagues were running. Come August, then the Kikoso games were there, where the good footballers or the good sportsmen, because it was across football, athletics, netball, volleyball, Ajua, snooker. They are all there during Kikoso games. So there were a lot of competitions: railways, posta, airways, MOW, KPA. So, and still those organizations still employ football, no, sportsmen and women in their ranks. Away from Transcom and Kenya Airways, the rest are still on. Railways is still there, I believe so. KPA is still there, and they are doing very well in basketball, volleyball. Posta is still there. They are in FKF League now, and they are also creating opportunities for employment to the young lads who are who have the interest in sports. So I believe sports also helps the workers to 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 change the environment. So for recreation purposes, you cannot work the whole day, the whole month, just work sitting in the office. So you need a change of environment for you to get yourself back and be productive. Yes.
You have balanced football with academics and coaching. How important is education to an athlete's journey?
As I think I said it earlier, sports is short-lived, and as an industry, it is an alternative employment sector, and it pays, like nowadays. Sports pay heavily, more than the normal sector employment, and balancing might be difficult or not difficult, so long as you can manage your time. It is time management that will help you run, like high schools. You can only go out there, you can do your morning runs, then the time for PE, you do the second phase there. Then after class from 5 o'clock, that is games time. So you can still go out, play, make good use of the time. Then after that, after supper in high schools, people go for preps. You still continue with your education in the night. So it is just the concentration and the conviction of the person that this is what brought me here. Sports in secondary or primary is secondary, but nowadays it is key in the life of a person, because it employs you more than the formal employment, and it pays heavily. So if you have the discipline, you can balance. It's you don't overindulge in one. Just give them their right portions of time, and then you focus. Then you'll just achieve what you want. But whatever you could not achieve when you are young and involved in a lot of sporting activities, you can still pursue it further. Like I did my bit. I did not finish the scheduled course time in education, But that one did not stop me, and as I speak now, I'm now running my last end of education. I'm writing my thesis in PhD, and because that is my conviction, I have to complete what I started. Because a journey will not be a journey without an end. So I think if I graduate, that will be my end, and I'll thank God for that because I've managed the family I had, and they have reached somewhere, and I still want to pursue the education I started. I don't want to let it hang. Yes.
What is your coaching philosophy, being a former international footballer and also a student's coach, to say the least? What are the coaching philosophies that you have adapted?
Sometimes you can have your philosophy, but they don't fit in with the type of players you get. So you have to adjust on the kind of players you have around you. But the philosophy is in normal life. You just need to be proactive. Then you need to have the learning stage, then the discipline along the way. Then you have to incorporate even the management skills, and then you you that will build you into a complete person. Because with the time limits we have when you are a student, you are a coach, and all those other things, there's no much time you can do a specific attribute of the philosophy we are talking about to the fullest. Because even when we were at the university, um, 3 quarters of the time these kids are in the university to learn, not to play sport. But they are only coming out when they have the time for games, or you've created a time before they go into class, because first and foremost you go into a university to read for the course that took you there. If you are in the School of Education, Physical Science, and any other, you see that is sports related. So you during their time for practical, so you can enhance whatever you want to do around that time. But if you are in the business world, school, and you are in nursing, pharmacy, you have to create time to away from classwork to come and play your sport, because it will help you to tone down the boredom. Because if you are in class the whole day and tomorrow again you'll be in class, you want to research, you need the mind to relax. So you come out there, joke, and make sure that even by joking you are learning, because there are some things I'll get from you which I might not have gotten from class. So learning is wide, and you can only pick the best of those engagements to push you through where you want to be.
We have a change of guard in the FKF leadership. What's your general overview of the current state of Football Federation in Kenya?
Um, it is interesting because we've not seen much in this federation, because as I can put it, they've started swimming at the top end of the pool, the deepest part, because election was done, because the previous office had started the program of in hosting Chan. So that means if you want to do well in anything, the first step tells all. The current federation came into towards the end of the journey, and already the process was already on. So then they jumped on the vehicle that was running to take it to the final destination. But if you look at the way they have come through, there have been a lot of difficulties, because they had to change people in the office, they had to change the setup of the national team, they had to change in coaching, the environment around football, and it was not easy, because coming out of the old version of management to the new one is not the best, and it is not the easiest, because people get used to uh, a period they are in. So changing them from that period to a new setup, normally it is never easy. But they have done their best with the support of the government and CAF. There are a lot of things that for me we have achieved. One is congratulations for having our national team, Harambee Stars, the Chan team, the local, to have reached where we have reached, because we had no team. The coach recruited this team from nothing. There's, secondly, a big thank you to our president. You see, jumping on board to talk to the team, and driving them with those promises and all those other encouragement. It is important that he came with a bang, and that support from the presidency, I think, changed a whole course of so many things, because even fans out here did not believe that our team is going to do what they have done, because we are going to meet Africa's strong men in the likes of Morocco, you get Zambia, and we proved that everything is possible with good preparation and physical preparation, psychological, and any other will drive the team forward. And I think with our president psychological support and material, I think we've moved along well with the tournament, because going up to knockout stage was not a small achievement. And I think going forward, we need now to stick with this team. We only need to add, and then we put them together. If not in camp, they need to have a day for the team to be training as a national team. And I think in due course, next month or early October, we are playing a World Cup qualifier against Gambia and in Nairobi. And because of that performance we've shown through Chan, I think the crowd will still flock Kasarani. And then that is now a blessing in disguise for the good players that were there. And now we'll bring in part of, if not all, part of the foreign legion of players abroad, so that we'll have a blend. And now it is here that the test of the acumen of our current coach will come in, because this part, the team that he had in Chan, has done so well. Those are the guys out there will now come, so we don't know which one will form the base. Is it this Chan one or the foreign legion? So he has to have, he must have a good mix to give us the expected results, because these guys have energized the fanatic base in the country, so we don't need to go back. We need just to keep on climbing, so that we create an environment where now interests will now be soaring further, so that the people will say, then we got the best tactician. Because so far, McCarthy has proved that he can do it. And then the fan base in this country are also enthusiastic about what the team and the coach has done. So we need to build on this.
How you've really spoken well, and those are quite good insights about Chan. Now, how can Chan's success impact football in terms of government support, corporate sponsorship, and the FKF policy?
The marketing of the game is key. Government cannot market. So government will only give the platform for the marketers to come in, because the marketers must play within the rules of the government of the day to express what they have in their hands. But going forward, it is an opportunity, and the government should also help the federation to extract a lot of support from private entities, so that they come on board, because uh, football is a marketing platform, and they can easily sell the product. Like as we are talking now, you check Chan. Chan is sponsored by OneXBet, Total Energies, Puma. So now you get. So with those brands, because there was a place I read that CAF was very enthusiastic about what Kenya as a country has done in branding the tournament. Kenya, according to them, were number one amongst the three pamoja bid countries. The fan base, it was wonderful. So these are the things that we need to do more. And then, if the quality will continue to so high, then I'm telling you, uh, AFCON will be a different ball game, because people will now be seeing the African greats that they are only seeing on TV playing abroad. They will be seeing them at Kasarani and Talanta City Stadium. So that is a plus to this country. So the president did a lot of work to create the 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 stadium, the structures, so that we host the tournament, so that people should not just be watching on TV. We need to feel those people amongst us, which is very good. It is now tourism flocking into this country. Kudos to the government, and we need to do more. So the presidency in the federation, Kenyan presidency, we need to work as a team, so that as we host the bigger tournament in AFCON, we need to go more than the stage we have exited, so that that will also help uh, uh, Kenya to sell as many as possible the players that are quality abroad, and that will bring in uh, the the taxes to this country. So that is important. So that is tourism. At the back of our mind, is now key for Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, and we need to exploit this with good performance, because so far the three countries have done so well, but we have fallen short at the quarter stage. So we need to do more with now the coming on board of our foreign-based players. We need to do more and go beyond the quarters. But even these other countries will have their legions from abroad. So it will depend on how we are going to prepare and the time of preparation. That one is key. Yeah. So this team now should continue being together. McCarthy should not leave. So that we build this as we start the league, then we prepare for the next platform with those players coming from abroad, so that we are a close knit thing. So it will now depend on how many he'll pick from this current Chan team with the other side. Yes, and then with this kind of environment, with the support that has come from the presidency, there's going to be a lot competition from the league clubs going forward as we start the league, because everybody will want to be in that team of AFCON, because at the back of their mind there will be cash awards, and who is not interested in money? Nobody. So everybody will want to prove that they are worth being in that team, and that will be the driving force amongst the players as we start the league towards AFCON tournament.
Toby, you've quite talked about the Chan and its impact, especially to the league and to the players themselves. Can you give a comparison during your playing days? Since we've seen now Gor Mahia have gone to sign the top players in the Chan, and how was the recruitment done during your days, and now from the club level, from the club levels to the national team levels? Do we say that the bigger teams used to have many players in the national team, or the topmost teams used to have more players than the national team as compared to now?
It shifted when during our days, basically people were interested in about 3, 4 clubs. But if you look at our scenario here in Kenya, even if you go to Tanzania, Uganda, our neighbors here, Tanzanians were relying majorly on Simba and Yanga. Go to Uganda, there was Express, Sports Club Villa, then there was Kampala, KCC, those three. Then Kenya, we had majorly the two teams that were balancing on the number 1, 2 for many years is FC Leopards and Gor Mahia. The supporting clubs were Tusker, Kenya Breweries then, and Scarlet. So Scarlet and Tusker were stronger enough because of the employment base. FC and Leopards were relying on corporates to employ their players because those days we were amateurs, not like today when we are calling ourselves professional. We are not professionals. We are quasi. We are semi. Yeah. So, but it's better, and then the payment nowadays is higher. When you are an employee, you are being paid at the rate of the government structure as per the grade you will be put in. But now, as a professional, it is your skill, your ability to produce that will justify what the amount you will be paid, because that is your work. So I think uh, going forward with what we are calling professionalism, we need to do more than when we were playing. But during those days, people were not so much in the money. People were looking for employment to sustain them, to run their families. But nowadays, because of professionalism, so that the change or the mindset has changed, that sports is now paying. So you can play the sport as the employer. Now sport is the employer, not that company employing you. So now that is where the difference is. So their payment nowadays is huge because of uh, the environment as it is. Because any injury you have to be taken care of by yourself or the team you are playing for. Vis-a-vis, when we were playing, it was the parastatal you were working for to take care of your medical issues. So there's a big difference, and this kind of environment is going to entice many, because the talk out here as we are speaking now is people want to flock the national team because of the financial benefits, which is key. That is a driving force. But sometimes the financial driving force might also be uh, uh, a kind of dangerous, because if you don't meet that target, that finance bit will never be there. So, so the comfort now is a lot of hard work for you to sustain and get that kind of money. The groups will promise, and then you have to sustain the level of performance for you to retain that structure. But when we were playing for. Initially, it was looking for a job and recognition. And all these things were done through a lot of sacrifices and discipline. Yes.
Are you foreseeing the corporates coming back fully to support the football through employment? Having said that, with also the interest that the state, especially the president, has put in football, in your own opinion, do you see corporates coming back the way they used to do during your playing days to come and tap the staff from the football sector?
Because of professionalism, it is difficult. Because if like now, there are some parastatals that are still employing those sportsmen and women to advertise what they do. Examples are there. Poster is still employing, but in quotes again, they are also, you are there in their diary, but you are paid as a professional. But now those things also bring conflicts, because A sports person will train for only 3 hours in a day, but a normal working person will be in the office for from 8 to 5. So those are two different things. And then these people in sports, they will earn more than the person sitting in the office for those many hours. So it's not so good if you mix the two. Like the banks we have, they have their teams. KCB, they have a team. Uh, Equity, then Consolidated Bank, Cooperative Bank. So their core mandate is banking, not sports. They are only using sports to leverage on marketing of the industry. Yes. So these are the things that will change the terrain of support from the corporate world. But there are other corporates like Safaricom, Airtel. Uh, them you see, by them supporting sports, they are attracting customers more than KCB. KCB they can support. Then, how much money will you be saving in that account? But now imagine Safaricom supporting a tournament. They can say, the whole of today will give you 100 airtime in your phone. So this 100 airtime in your phone, you can do every other business you want to do. So those are the different levels of support we need from the corporate world. And then when they will come in and put themselves into that basket, they're also opening themselves to the clients. There are some people somewhere, there are people who are nowhere knowing what Safaricom does. So with them coming into sports, then they are opening themselves to the people in the villages. As you see what Safaricom does with their road shows, just to sell their products to the people, winning those lotteries, to attract those people to their side is key. But I think in one way or the other, the private sector will, I'm very sure they will hugely come in to support the cause because it will market them in the big arena of the country.
Yeah. You've talked about the competitiveness in the national team and now the urge for the local players to get in there. What advice would you give to players dreaming to play for the national team? And how can they balance discipline, education, and football?
Education is all inclusive, but again, discipline is key in whatever you want to do in life. And I believe the driving force here is money. And because there's no employment, and if you are talented, you exploit this road where the money is being put to entice or to drive people to achieve. So those I think are part of the what we call marketing strategies of a company. Because if you are paying well, people will want to come to your company. If you are supporting a team that is doing well, people are also want to be part of it. But there's a catch here. The presidency supported football wholly because of Chan. Reasons best known to him. Me and you, we have our reasons. There are teams out here also that are saying they feel to have part of the cake. As we speak now, we have volleyball senior in world championships in Japan. Just the other day before we started Chan, or when we were 1 week in Chan, our under 20 volleyball women also beat Cameroon in Cameroon to set a stage for the next under 20 World Cup. There's been no support, the financial support from the in quotes authorities. So you see, there are questions that are being thrown left, right, and center every day wherever you walk in newspapers and all those other things. That we have also done something. Why can't we also even get only 5% of the national cake? But all this financial support or enticements should come from NOC. So that means there should be budgets for this kind of support, financial supports. But there was I read somewhere in the newspaper that there's an amount of money in the sports ministry put there for the achievers.
Under sports fund.
Yes, under sports fund. So that money, is it being distributed equally? You see, those are questions that the authorities need to put straight, because the one, there people are crying about this soccer one because it is extraordinary, and if it can be like in athletics, it was you bring a gold, it is this much, you bring silver, it's this much, this, but now soccer, how do you justify that? You can't quantify, because if you wait until the final, then people will never get it. Yeah, so those are the things that need to be either corrected or find a way of a certain age, stage mukifika, it is this, like soccer. If you reach this stage, it is this.
Okay.
If you reach this stage, it is this. When you get the final, you pick this big one. Yes, because playing, now imagine Chan, we are 19 teams, you are into qualifier, like the group we were in. After playing the 4 matches, now you come to the knockout stage. If you knock out, you pass there, you go to semis. Before you reach the final, you are dead. Yeah, so the stages should have something to cushion.
Okay.
Yes, to the team, so that they fight tooth and nail to let us pick the one for group stage. Then what are we getting in the knockout stages? It is 50% of what you are getting per game in the. So there will be a shift in the mindset that group stage, we were promised this, let's get this. After then the group stage, each and every knockout stage, there's a portion, Evo. Then I think the fighting spirit will be there until the end.
So do you believe that president was better placed to give it, let's say, for instance, a million, 1.5, 2.5, 3 million, and 2, 3, or?
You see, the way it was specified, it was attractive because it was after every match. So you fight your life after every 90 minutes. There's something. You see, like what former Governor Sonko did was a good, huge amount of money, but it was lump sum, cumulative. Take the trophy, you have 400 million. You are seeing the money on a paper, but how do you arrive there and pick it? After going through 8 serious stages for you to get the 400 million. So what the president did was, it was even playing with the mind that you win this today, this is with you. So your 2 hours, 30 minutes time of a match, there's something in your account. You'll fight tooth and nail. So these are the things that vary. You push them in bits, then the bigger one will come with another kind of package. So that when we win the small ones, then now nasema, these small ones tumechoka nayo, let's hit the jackpot. Because at the end of the jackpot, there's something again. You see, like now we are out of the tournament. CAF is paying money to the federation. Now, the question is, are the players going to be part of the money? See, those are issues. That should have been put in place between the federation and the team. That if where you will reach, the money we will earn, because they knew there's going to be money after each and every stage. Where we reach, the money we get, we have our 10%, you have your 5%. But now we are out. We have our 68 million. Now, are we going to get part of this money? Now the team is asking, how do you argue that case out? It has come. So they should have given themselves 5% of the stage will reach. 5% ni yenyu, away from other corporates sponsoring or the monies we are paying you as allowances. So agreement should be there so that ikifika stage ya mwisho ndio shida. If you can remember, this money created a problem the last AFCON we were in Egypt in 2019. Kenya earned, I think, 38 million. That money went to the federation. The captain asked about that money. What did the captain get in return? Suspension. Yes. So you need to plan in advance, because all these stages are there in any AFCON, in any CHAN, that they are stages of earnings per team until the end. So you sign it down. The players will have their portion. If we only win 2 matches, you know your percentage. If you reach the final, if it is 100 million, you know your 10%, you agreed and signed, your 10% is this much. So that is what you will get.
Okay. Now, from the CHAN itself, let me ask you this question, Tobias. What do you think Kenyan clubs now need to do, you see, to raise the football standards in the oncoming seasons? Because we've learned a lot from the fan base and fan engagement and the government goodwill. So what do our clubs now need to do just to rise up from the CHAN experience to raise the standards of our local league?
We need just to reorganize our management styles. We need to look for sponsors, because there are so many clubs that don't have sponsors, because money drives. So if we get more sponsors, that means we will be paying our players well. So then their payment should be measured with the performance. So if we get the money, then we treat our staff well, the players, then expect a bigger performance. But if you don't put a lot of cash to develop or recruit good players into your team, don't expect miracles to happen. You have to have, ukitaka mahindi yako iwe kubwa kwa shamba, you have to till the shamba early, ongeza manyiwa, then good seeds. Kama kuna mvua, maji unanyunyisha kwa hiyo kiwanja, then you expect harvest poor. But if you don't do that, don't expect any harvest. So that's why, as we were, that was on the sidelines, you asked me about the recruitment of Gor Mahia and every other thing. Gor Mahia have recruited, assumably, the good players in CHAN, the good players around. And if they want to replicate the performance of these players, what they have done in CHAN, to the club where they are coming to play, attitude change must come in. Because they might have been good in CHAN as a Kenyan team because of the financial drive from the presidency. Now, these players, we call them now as millionaire players. They are now coming to play with the people who are down here. So how are they going to adjust themselves, the mindset, from where they are to the players that they are going to get back at the club level? So there must be a lot of education here. Because these guys, you are the majority at each club level are amateurs, in quote. The people who are in the national team have come back home pockets full. Will you be on the same table? So that's now where management is going to come in. Yes, so that you run the two groups, you bring them into one and focus. That was their level in the national team, but this is now a club of all. Those who have and the have-nots, but they have their levels. Yes, because that was just a reward for winning. Yeah. The salaries were not there. Yeah. If they are there, it's minimal. At a club level, kila mtu akona kiwango ya salary yake. Yeah, the cap in those payments. So it is now the maturity of the management to run this team and the players themselves. Because if they look down upon for the people who are not in the national team, that they are not good enough because their pockets are not looking nice, there's going to be a divide. Okay. And that divide can easily break a team.
Okay. Tell us your thoughts on grassroots development and academies.
Well, that is a big thing, yeah. And it needs to be looked. Okay. The academies, for me, should be registered. That is according to me, and then they are controlled, because we have a lot of any Tom, Dick, and Harry forming an academy. If it is a group, like 10 people who are moneyed, they do their academy, then they attract the best into one place. But you find, like in Eastlands, you might find in Eastlands we have like 30 academies. There's no quality. But because you are earning from the academies, you are good to go, because you are getting something small from the parents that are paying, because they are tired of staying with their kids at home. But if they're structured and registered, we have like 100 academies in Kenya. So even if my child is in Kisumu and the best academy is in Nairobi, I'm ready to take my child to that academy in Nairobi, because I know it is going to help out. So be it. But let us not just create an academy as a way of earning from the parents, because some parents are not comfortable staying with their kids at home, so they take them to the academy and they go out there and do their own things. But it should be a source of nurturing a talent for the future, not just to remove the kids from home. So it's important. We have to register and know how many we have, the quality of these kids we have, and when they are grown up from this under 10, they are going to the next under 12, just like that, so that we build our players from academy source. Then in these academies, we can also now introduce what you asked me first, the philosophies. Kenya should have a philosophy as a country, not and a system of play as a country. So even the clubs, you play the same. Go to Dutch, they have their philosophy. All clubs, KNVB, they have. Go to Germany, they have. Go to England, they have. So England sahi wako na shida because influx of foreign coaches are introducing their so many of their things. That's why the national team in England cannot tick, because 3/4 of the coaches in England have come from beyond the borders of England. That's why they have a problem. But go to Netherlands, there are people from. Go to Germany, there are people from there. So they know what they want, and because the national team is for Germany. It is not for Bayern Munich. It is not for Leipzig. It is not for Dortmund. It is for. So they need to have a system and the philosophy that all Germans are using. That is what has also messed Brazil. All Brazilian players are now in Europe. So they have now adapted to the European way of life. So when they come back home as Brazilians, their tiki-taka imeenda. Yeah, so there are so many things that are going around the globe. So we also need to do our philosophy and the way we want our kids to grow in the sports setup locally through the academies. That's why they need to be registered and be controlled, so that I know you have your academy, the officials are this, and this type of kids are here, the number is this. So that in case there's a problem, they come to the office. Yes.
Your final thoughts, Toby, message to fans, to corporates, to government, to the federation, to the athletes, to the aspiring footballers. What's your final thoughts and message to?
My message will be very simple. One, the government should make sure that they create the best facilities for the nurturing of the talents we have. If clubs cannot do it, let the government do it for the citizens. Like what our president has done. Kasarani has been renovated, Nyayo has been renovated, we have built Atlanta. So now the push should now be on the governors to make sure that all counties have standard stadia for the growth of this sport. Standard stadia. And this stadium we are building should be not only soccer, It should be soccer, athletics, basketball, handball. It should be a complex in the counties, because counties have a bigger chunk of work more than the national government. We have 47 counties. If the 47 counties have stadia with all these sports that are in place, who will beat Kenya? Because the development of sport in Mombasa will be there. Nairobi, name it. Then clubs, our clubs, if possible, they need to tie their belts and go to corporates. Each club in KPL should have a stadium, so that the finances you collect, the revenue you collect from this stadium, goes to the sustenance of the team here. Because look at Nyayo. All clubs playing at Nyayo are paying higher fee. Do you know the higher fee for Nyayo?
It's around 30,000.
What do you mean? Higher fee for Nyayo is 60,400 for 2 hours. But if you want to use the VVIP on top of Nyayo, that where the Wadosi Uketi, that is 80,000. So that means in 2 hours 30 minutes of a match, the higher fee at Nyayo is 140,400. That is enough to develop how many kids? So that's why clubs need to have their facilities so that they play there for free. And they also create employment for their fans. Yes, because there are so many things that can be done around that stadium, so that there are the hostels, the hotels, bars, name it. Then some of their fans are working there. So it's all around. So we need to encourage clubs to look for sponsors, to do their bit. They build even a main stand stadium only, and it is fenced, like City Stadium. That's good enough for a club. And then you use your facility for free. You don't go and hire, because paying that higher fee. Imagine Ulinzi is a government sponsored, but they play their home matches at Ulinzi complex. That is free. Now imagine Posta Rangers, they don't have a stadium. Umewapeleka Nyayo. The government is taking 140,400 to hire a stadium. Na Posta ni gava. What are we doing? The government is paying a government? No. So we only need to find a way of bringing in corporates. Then they can identify clubs they want to support. Then they do an arena for them, so that when they play home, all the monies that, imagine Nairobi as a county, they are playing Gor Mahia at City Stadium. Home team takes all. The fan base of Gor Mahia wakilipa hizo do vizuri City Stadium, how many revenue have they collected? When Gor Mahia played Leopards at Nyayo, Leopards collected 7 million, something like that. Now, if that is going to FC as a club, see, their finances are sorted. Yeah. So if it is your facility, all your home games will be played here. So that means all the monies will come to your account. Then you have sponsors. No issue. So there should be, corporate should be talked to. They choose clubs, they develop them, then you buy. You can buy and create a fan base and move forward. Check fan base ya Shabana, the whole Gusii land. They have their fan base in Nairobi. When they are playing in Kisii, they drive to Kisii because they are supporting their team. Those are the things we need. For me, we don't need corporates to form teams. We need corporates to support teams. That's a different thing. So this team is selling the corporate. Like if Posta can have the money, or Tusker with the monies, Guinness, Tusker, what you call it, Pilsner. They imagine Tusker, their Guinness is on the front part of Gor Mahia. Then the Gor Mahia is the home team. Kila mtu akuje. As I finish, when Gor Mahia was sponsored by Tuzo, how much money were they making, Tuzo? Because that weekend, Gor Mahia was playing as home team. All Gor Mahia fans were buying Tuzo in a packet wanaingia nayo stadium.
And Tuzo will do activation.
Exactly. In the stadium, because it is not the paper, the packet is not harmful. What people are buying in the stadium. Then at the supermarkets, the tuzo in the supermarkets were being cleared because Gor Mahia wins. There are no tuzo products in the market. So, and how much money were they giving Gor Mahia? CG something to do with 20 million. And they sell the whole world of their products. So corporates should come in. They can identify. Gor Mahia can even have 10 corporates sponsoring Gor Mahia. So long as the bigger sponsor accommodates all these guys. They are given, kuna wengine watawekwa kwa short, left thigh, left thigh, hivyo. So that this money go to the club. And then the performance of this club sells the entire sponsors. So it is important that corporates should come out and support the teams they choose. It is not limited to one corporate sponsor sponsoring one team. It is an agreement between the title sponsor and the rest supporting the title sponsor. You can even have 10. Check Italy. How many, yeah, just look at the shorts, left, right, hook sleeve, yeah, chest. Those are monies. And that's why they are buying players expensively. Because at the end of the day, it is the product of that game that makes their fans come to the stadium, and that is selling the stadium.
Okay. Thank you so very much. That has been a phenomenon, Tobias Ocholla, Jua Kali, and we are glad to have hosted you at LTN Sports. Viewers, give us your feedbacks, give us your insights, and we are grateful for your time. Thank you, Toby. One last thing?
Yeah, what I wanted to say, our clubs need to have a very strong marketing wing. So if they cannot do it as an office, they need to hire marketers. Yes, if you can bring all the monies to the club, it's key. Because marketing is key to bringing in funds. If you don't sell yourself, nobody will know you.
Sure.
Yes.
Thank you so much.